Hello dear students, welcome to our running program Ready to Run, produced by Rwanda Education Board in partnership with UNICEF and Inspire, Educate and Empower Rwanda. I'm teacher Jen and I teach Senior 5 Geography. As usual, let's start by sharing an important message from the Ministry of Health. It says, we should respect the measures of hygiene such as hand washing, social distancing, in order to fight against the spread of coronavirus. Thank you. Let's start by a review of what we have learned during our last lesson. Think of the meaning of the solar system and identify the elements or components that form it. Good. We have learned the universe and its components. We explained the key elements of the universe and looked at different descriptions. We saw that the solar system is the most known component of the universe, and that planet Earth is the only planet of the solar system where life is possible. Today, dear students, I have a wish that you will be able to discuss the characteristics of the Sun and the influence of the Sun on the Earth, and the characteristics of different planets and their positions. You can find our lesson on page 133 in the student's book. Thank you. Again, using the previous knowledge that you have in geography, think of the characteristics of the Sun and planets. Think of the characteristics of the Sun and planets. Great! We learned that the solar system is defined as an arrangement of the Sun and planets that revolves around the Sun. We saw that the solar system is therefore made up of the Sun, planets, the Moon, and other heavenly bodies such as asteroids, comets, meteorites, and so on. The Sun, remember, as already studied, is one of the billions of stars that make up the Milky Way galaxy. It is one of the smallest stars in our universe. However, we saw that it is 109 times bigger than the planet Earth. The Sun forms the center of the solar system, and its gravitational force keeps planets in their position. We said that all the 8 planets revolve around the Sun. Looking at the characteristics of the Sun, as any other heavenly body, the Sun has characteristics that distinguish it from the rest of other planets and the solar system. In fact, the Sun emits its own light or heat. It has a diameter of 139,200 kilometers. Its temperature ranges from 4,000 to 9,000 degrees Celsius. The mass of the Sun stands at 1.98 times 1,030 kilograms. It has a density of 1.4 grams per cubic centimeters. The Sun is made up of hydrogen and helium. Its radius is estimated to be at 695,500 kilometers, and it takes 25 days to turn on its axis. These are some of the characteristics of the Sun. Thank you. Now, looking at the particularity of our mother planet Earth, I want you to think, what can be the influence of the Sun on Earth? What do you think can be the influence of the Sun on the Earth? Excellent! The influence of the Sun on the Earth is broad. The Sun holds the Earth in its orbital position. It contributes greatly in the balancing of tidal bulge caused by the Moon's gravitational pull and inertia. Friends, think of the meaning of inertia according to what you learned in physics. What do you remember? Good. When we talk of inertia, it refers to as a property of matter that causes it to resist changes in velocity, meaning speed and direction. According to Newton's first law of motion, an object with a given velocity maintains that velocity unless by an external force. Inertia is the property of matter that makes this law to hold true. Two tidal badges are created on opposite sides of the Earth due to the moon's gravitational force and inertia's counterbalance. The gravitational attraction between the Earth and the moon is strongest on the side of the Earth that happens to be facing the moon simply because it is closer. This attraction causes the water on this near side of the Earth to be pulled towards the moon. As gravitational force acts to draw the water closer to the moon, inertia attempts to keep water in place. But gravitational force exceeds it and the water is pulled towards the moon, causing a badge of water on the near side towards the moon. On the opposite side of the Earth, or the far side, the gravitational attractions of the moon is less because it is farthest away. Here, inertia will exceed the gravitational force and the water tries to keep on going in straight line, moving away from Earth, so also forming a badge. In this way, the combination of gravity and inertia creates two badges of water. One forms where the Earth and the moon are closest, and the other forms where they are farthest apart. Over the rest of the globe, gravity and inertia are in relative balance. Because water is fluid, the two badges stay aligned with the moon as the Earth rotates. The sun also plays a major role affecting the size and position of the two tidal badges. The interaction of the forces generated by the moon and the sun can be quite complex. Friends, this was an introduction to the subject of tides and water levels, but you will see it deeply in the topic about the moon. Thank you. Now, let us continue with other influences of the sun on the Earth. We have already talked about the orbital position. We have said about the tidal badges. Now, the next influence is the sun is the source of the energy that is used by the Earth and all that is therein. It engines the hydrological cycle. The sun supports life on Earth through many ways, such as creation of suitable and favorable temperatures. The sun influences the general climate at the hand of the solar radiation received. The sun also contributes to the formation of the tides that support in one way or the other the ecosystem and man's activity. Thank you. Welcome back. Now, let us think of the meaning of planet, the name of different planets of the solar system. Think of the meaning of planets and the names of different planets of the solar system. That's great. The planet means the rock solids that are in oval shape, floating in space, and rotating on its axis as revolving around the sun. Planets are grouped into categories. The first category of planets is composed of inner planets or terrestrial planets. These are the planets closest to the sun. These are Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. We call it inner planets or terrestrial planets. The second category is composed of outer planets or jovial planets farther from the sun. These are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. These two categories of planets are separated by an asteroid belt. This means there is an asteroid belt that separates these two categories of planets, the inner or terrestrial planets and the outer or jovial planets. Dear students, it is very important to know that Pluto is known as a dwarf planet. It never developed fully. It is also crucial to know that Pluto was removed from the list of planets. You used to know that we had 9 planets, but today they are 8. Yes, they are 8. Dear students, it is very important to know that Pluto is known as a dwarf planet. It never developed fully. It is also crucial to know that Pluto was removed from the list of planets in 2006 because of the following reasons. Its size is too small to be classified as planet. It has no uniform revolution around the Sun. Pluto, its revolution is not circular but spherical in nature. Its movement is too slow when compared to the rest of the planets of our solar system. Remember, we used to say that we had 9 planets, but as Pluto was removed today, we have 8 known planets. Students, again, I want you to use your previous knowledge to think of one planet in the solar system and its characteristics. Think of one planet you know in the solar system and discuss its characteristics. Excellent! I'm going to give you a list of the 8 planets and their important characteristics. I will tell you the planets, the position in relation to the Sun, and the major characteristics. Let's start by Mercury. The position of Mercury in position to the Sun is 58 million kilometers. Mercury is the smallest and the nearest planet from the Sun, and it completes its revolution in only 88 days. Its diameter is 4,880 kilometers. It is characterized by great escarpments, and its surface has craters. Its magnetic field is small, of about 1% in comparison to that of our Earth. It has no natural satellite. The second planet is Venus. The position of Venus in relation to the Sun is estimated to be between 107 and 108 million kilometers. It is the second planet from the Earth, and it is the 6th largest after Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Earth. It shares some characteristics with the Earth, especially in terms of chemical composition and gravity. This explains why it is referred to as the twin planet of our planet. Yes, Venus is referred to as the twin planet of our planet Earth. It experiences hot temperatures reaching 4,620 degrees Celsius. To complete its revolution around the Sun, it takes 225 days. Its atmosphere is poisonous. Venus rotates backward from other planets. It means that it rotates in an opposite direction compared to other planets. It has the radius of 6,052 kilometers. The third planet is our mother planet Earth. Its position in relation to the Sun is 150 million kilometers. Earth is the third planet from the Sun and the only planet known to support life. It has one natural satellite called Moon. Earth is the 5th largest planet in the solar system, and its greatest part is covered by water. It completes its revolution within 365 days, and its rotation on its axis within 24 hours. The next is Mars, and its position is about 228 million kilometers. Mars is slightly cooler and is the seventh largest planet in the solar system after Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Earth, and Venus. It has a diameter of 4,222 kilometers miles. It takes 686.98 days to complete its revolution around the Sun, and its rotation on its axis takes 24.6 Earth hours. It has hard, rocky, and completely dry surface. Mars has 2 satellites. Remember I said that Earth has only 1 satellite, the Moon. The next is Jupiter, with the distance of 778 million kilometers from the Sun. It is the largest planet in the solar system, and it has 63 satellites. It has a diameter of 88,729 miles, and it takes 9.8 Earth hours to complete its rotation. Its revolution around the Sun takes 11.86 years. The next is Saturn, with 1,427 million kilometers from the Sun. It is composed of liquid and gas, and has rings composed of billions of ice particles. It is the second largest planet in our solar system after Jupiter. It is 550.9 million miles from planet Earth. It takes 10.2 Earth hours to complete its rotation, and 29.4 Earth years to complete its revolution around the Sun. We also have Uranus, with 2,870 million kilometers. Uranus is the third largest after Jupiter and Saturn. Its surface is solid. It has a diameter of 36,006 miles, and it is composed of hydrogen, helium, and methane. To complete its revolution around the Sun, it takes 84.02 Earth years, and its rotational period on its axis is 17.9 Earth hours. The last, but not the least, is Neptune, with 4 million kilometers. It is the fourth largest planet after Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus. It is the farthest planet in our solar system, and it completes its revolution within 164.8 Earth years and rotates in 16 hours. These were the planets and their major characteristics. The planets in the solar system. Welcome back. Now, let's do a recap of what you have just learned. What have we learned? Thank you. We have seen that the solar system is defined as the arrangement of the Sun and the planets that revolves around the Sun. We saw that the solar system is made up of the Sun, planets, the Moon, and other heavenly bodies such as asteroids, comets, meteorites, and so on. We also learned different characteristics of the Sun and the planets. Dear students, to continue, I want you to remember what we learned last time and think of other heavenly bodies found in the universe. Alright, it is important to note that there are other heavenly bodies including asteroids, comets, meteoroids, constellations, meteors, and galaxies. But what does this mean? Asteroids are minor planets, especially those of the inner solar system. The largest ones have also been called planetoids. A comet is a heavenly body or lump of rocks made up of dust and frozen gases which orbit the sun, while meteorites are small bodies, often remnants of comets traveling through space. When such bodies enter the Earth's atmosphere, it is heated to luminosity and becomes a meteor. Meteors are classified as minor components of the solar system. On the other hand, we have meteorite, which is a solid piece of debris from an object such as a comet, asteroid, or meteorite that originates in outer space and survives its passage through the atmosphere to reach the surface of a planet or a moon. And we have a constellation. A constellation is a shape of celestial bodies, usual stars, which appear to form a pattern or a picture in the sky. While a galaxy refers to the group of billions of stars held together by the same gravitational force. We have several galaxies. The known ones are the elliptical galaxy, the spiral galaxy, and the irregular galaxy. The elliptical galaxy is a group of billions of stars which form a spherical shape and has no distinctive features. On the other hand, a spiral galaxy is a group of billions of stars composed of the odd stars with a central bulge. This galaxy is a flattened disk that keeps on rotating. Lastly, irregular galaxy is a galaxy with no defined shape, with billions of stars unevenly distributed. Friends, as we are coming at the end of our lesson, let us recall the highlight points we focused on. What have we learned today? Excellent! Today, we have learned that the solar system is made up of the sun, planets, the moon, and other heavenly bodies such as asteroids, comets, meteorites, and so on. We have described different characteristics of the sun, the planets, and other heavenly bodies. We have learned that the sun is one of the billions of stars making up the Milky Way galaxy. We also say that it is one of the smallest stars in our universe, forming the center of the solar system. We said that its gravitational force keeps planets in their position, and we saw that we have 8 planets which revolve around the sun. Dear students, for our next lesson, we will focus on the particularities of our mother planet Earth and its satellite, the moon. To conclude, we will have a take-home as usual. Take your notebooks and write it down. Are you ready? Great. You are asked to address the senior 5 students from other schools. Explain what you would tell them about the positioning and characteristics of the planets found in the solar system. I repeat, you are asked to address the senior 5 students from other schools. Explain what you would tell them about the positioning and characteristics of the planets found in our solar system. At the same time, discuss how man has contributed to destroy the universe and suggest some solutions to overcome it. Dear students, thank you for being with us. See you for next lesson. I'm Teacher Jen. Bye.